Oh, there, go there and play. And it's the thing at the back of my mind. So when you join in Maseno, it's you you check in at the dining hall, and then all across the dining hall, there are achievement plates with all the boys and what they achieved, like across the. And that's
like you find Jaramogi or Gingo Dinka there. You find Frank Tamre, Amukasa.
So yeah. Wait, Bildad
Kagia or
no, Bildad. He's in tech. Okay. So yeah, Bildad. He was like at the hockey team. So like, and then it's not only academic, like a few, but then the rest is one's in nationals rugby, one's in nationals basketball. Sans Congress won a medal at and that was instilled from day one. Yeah. So like from day one, I was like, I have to like get on one of those flags, and it was just not for academic things, because academic is sort of like a given, because you're all with the most brilliant mind, brilliant 14-year-olds from all across Kenya. So what can you do aside from getting good grades? And for me, like for first time from one, like I knew, like that was the back of my hand. I tried like football. That was like, nah, this isn't it. This isn't it. I was even scared. Like this isn't it. So there was a skill gap, and I was like second time, first thing I did, I just joined the rugby training, and I learned the game from. So even that, even stronger than just being like guys from Maseno. So guys who played rugby in Maseno, it's another closer fraternity of guys from.
You guys are good with rugby.
Yeah, we do.
The only competitors were Viga or Kakamega. Kakamega nationally. They produce even national players, right?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
So
what's the secret? Is it the food?
Again, investing in the program, like actively encourage it. Like, so there are kids like our rugby teams used to have. You only get them when you're going to represent the school outside the school, and wearing one of them was the greatest badges of one, and I was like, have to get it. It go to forest green. So that's like creating that incentive programs in the school to push more people to actively pursue the sport. So aside from that, it was a stronger community. I even learned like leadership. So usually off season, the captains in the team run practice sessions.
Which of
seriously?
What is off season in Maseno?
So rugby is in term 1 and term 2. So there's term 1 used to be. So when I started 7th.
Forgive my ignorance. It's all good. We just the closest we get to rugby, the school I was in. There's a guy who came from Patch, and he tried to
grow that.
Patch is really good. They're like, we used to play rugby, and then we're like, show us. And then we contributed some money, bought a ball. But of course, I was in seminary, so that was not one of the biggest things to do there.
For this, like investment in the school is getting balls. Like you think you need one ball, you do not need. Like you need an entire storeroom with balls. You need an entire storeroom with weights. You need an entire storeroom with kids. You need a dedicated rugby pitch. You need the tackle bag. You need tackle bags for training. We had something we used to call a scrum machine. Like it's
for
a metal.
training.
Yeah, it's a metal thing where
you guys were serious about these things.
So
I've seen those things on the rugby, professional rugby.
So like scrum machines in school. Every program has like a scrum machine, and so that was the investment in it. And then aside from that, you're building incentive structures for more people to try out the sport. I had the best. Like I think I had more fun in the rugby pitch and in the computer lab. Than actual studying. Actually studying there, because that was my goal. I was like, I've done XYZ. Like academics is not a problem. I have to play rugby. And
so you're saying something about off season.
Term 1 was term 1 is you play. So back then, term 1 used to play 7th, term 2 15s. So there are two chances for you to make the team, and then in term 3 there are no like there's no like rugby games in happening. So that's when it's off season. That's when you prepare for the next season. So during then, our rugby coach would never show up for training. Like you'd show up with a coffee cup and then see what you're doing. But aside from that, it's the time for new people to learn new skills, new people, and then for you to hone like the basics of the game. And during that time, the coach is never like actually coach, because the coach is a teacher. Like he never showed up to actually run the training. Captains, because it's someone in Form 4, someone in Form 3, because they know the program. They're the ones who take me through drills. And yeah, it's a reinforcement on how leadership was given. One of you guys willing to stand up and willing to deliver. I think that attitude is in me. Like if I'm in a room and no one wants to like start a conversation, like I'll stand up.
I've seen you.
Start the conversation.
I've seen you on both sides, where you start conversation, where you start problems. And we'll talk about that in a few.
Yeah, sir. That's what I learned.
Yeah. So you do all these things, but you never like immerse yourself in like a game like football, rugby, music festival, drama.
I did rugby and science corner, because when you're doing rugby, like you don't have time for anything else, because every day it's training.
Crazy,
every day, like from 5 to 6
classes.
After classes. So far, like it was games times every day. All guys go to the rugby pitch, and then the best part of it was Saturday was games. Like it was
all
game day.
Games.
Yeah, no, it was game day. Like for our rugby pitch, like it's how we run. Like it's gameplay rather than just training and doing drills and whatever. You're actually putting that into practice in a game. So if it's 20 of you in a pitch, you divide into 2 or 3 teams, merry-go-round playing 7. So like, and then like preps end at lunchtime on Saturday. So the entire day on Saturday, the entire half day on Saturday, the entire half day on Sunday, you're just going out there and playing, like, because you're there to play rugby. That's even had more fun on Saturdays than actually presenting the school outside
nice.
School. Yeah, it was one of the fun. Even now, like we meet like someone like from Maseno or someone who did rugby, like you spend like 30 minutes sharing stories of
how that used to be.
like of how what things happened on the pitch there, on that Saturday. That was one of the funnest times. That's where people that's where you prove yourself. You've earned a spot on the team. Yeah, that was one of the funnest.
And something else, Amukasa, about the rugby. I know once you talk about rugby, you cannot talk about rugby without cheerleading. Were there like a strong cheerleading team in Maseno?
So again, that was whoever was loudest and stand up.
And you are loud guy.
But then
you're not the loudest.
I'm the loudest, but then say I'm in kids. Then even if I'm on the bench, I'm in kids. That's why I don't have time to. The thing I used to like most was psych ups before games. So even before psych ups before games, I even remember them like the back of my mind. So that was my favorite.
You want to chant a few, maybe one, maybe the shortest one.
So this is
and they're quite intimidating.
Yeah, it is intimidating. But then I used to like simmer down and with Ebwana tomba okombe moja zaidi. Like they usually like you're psyched up before before
and with more
game.
energy. Saying what you said, but with more energy.
Yeah, it even like psych ups were one of the things I remember the most. What else? Yeah, that and in game. A rugby legend got to play with, and like this is the thing I kept telling people. So Billy the Kid, Billy Odhiambo, he was a year ahead of me, and I actually played rugby with him. The first time, like actually had gameplay. We had that Saturday merry-go-round, and someone on my team like gets injured, and then Billy like subs in for them. And then the thing Billy does is there's a thing in rugby when you get tackled, like you form a rack, like easy like recycle the ball. But then Billy was getting tackled, recycling the ball himself, moving forward, getting tackled again, recycling. I was like, yo, like let us play, like
as a team.
Yeah, that was the thing that what was the weirdest interesting thing I remember. So most people think like rugby is like a huge, very physical game, but then the Maseno style of rugby emphasized hands, like how well you pass, so make the ball do all the work. We'll find opportunities at the wings, and then fancy plays, fancy passes, fancy plays. So I specialized in a couple of those. That was my best. That and the computer lab were my best experience.
So if someone could not find you on the pitch, they could find you in the computer lab.
Yeah.
So which position did you use to play on the pitch?
I played a scrum off. So scrum off is, so we had like
that is in the middle or on the side?
So the middle, like it's like there's a football. No, there's no football. Okay. It's like a point guard. Like you're the ones who passes between. So there are two types of team. You have the line guys who like run the ball, and you have the guys in the scrum down. Like so, the heavy guys in the scrum down. So the guys who passes the ball from the scrum down to the line guys, so that the play can happen, is called a scrum half. Whenever a ruck happens, the guy who comes in and restarts plays. So it's like an orchestra. So you're actually the one who chooses which direction the ball goes. You're the link.
So you're the playmaker.
You're close to the you can't be the playmaker, but then the other playmaker is the guy who directly passes. So there's a guy called a fly half. The fly half is the fanciest position in rugby. They kick, they pass, they do all the fancy. They call moves. So so it's the second. Your choice is finding. So your goal was for vision. Your job was to look at the defense line. This is the rucker's form. Look at the defense line. Have vision and see where the gaps are. In sevens, there's an additional task. Like when you're defending, there's someone like this, your line defending, and then there's someone else behind. We call them a sweeper. So in sevens, your scrum half is also doubles up as a sweeper. And then in 15s, your entire job is to make sure the ball is getting cycled. As soon as the ruck formed, you're making the pass. It called for quick hands, quick pass, and smart moves. So for South Africa just won the World Cup. For comparison, for people out there, Faf de Klerk, the position Faf de Klerk plays, I used to play that. So the short guy, tiny guy, who's always always chasing other bigger people trying to make tackles. So I was playing that position.
So you still watch these rugby games?
Yes. I do. Like the World Cup that just finished up was crazy.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
So this is very interesting. Maybe we should bring some of these, sevens players, or because for us it's just checking who is doing an amazing stuff in Africa. Because rarely do we showcase. Like South Africa won, but how many people get to sit down and tell what actually went on before even the winning? Because I know most of the work that is done is behind the scenes. So if we get a chance, maybe. Possibly we'll showcase some of those. Just if you're listening to us, please follow us, subscribe, show some love, and
I think I can bully what's Oscar Uma. Oscar Uma is a friend of mine and he's into tech.
Okay.
So I can probably bully him. So Oscar Uma, if you're seeing this, so I might bully him in the podcast.
Just let him know we would be glad to host him. Just to talk about what happens in rugby, and I'm so sad that now you don't do much. Nationally and internationally. I don't know what's up, man. Maybe you know more than I do.
It's management. It's like we were supposed to be in Dubai players, so we're out of the circuit. But then we could play as one of the expansion teams in Dubai, like in the Dubai Sevens. But then we didn't do it. So it was two things. It was management and it was coaching. So we had please don't come and beat me. We had a guy called Bofa. I've forgotten his name. Bofa. I've forgotten it's his full name. So we went with a very physical brand of rugby where it's always kifua nyingi, boshing rather than like running the ball, and that cost us the circuit and management. Cost us being in the circuit. We were supposed to be in this 7 circuit, but that failed. The small glitters of hope is that we were in the World Cup, in the sevens Olympics. We qualified for that, beating South Africa to qualify for that. So we had to go to qualifiers, and we qualified for that. So the regional heart of rugby is coming back, where we're recycling the ball because it's sevens. Like there are fewer people on the pitch. So the pitch is very huge. A few of you guys on the pitch. If you move the ball fast enough, you can find opportunities in wings. You can create opportunities in the centers, and that's we're going back to that brand of rugby. There's a newer blood who's moving apart from the Bofa Route 1, like physicality in sevens. We were getting very physical rather than making the ball do the work for us. All you need to do is like fixing problems at
KFC?
KRFUA. It's KRU or KRFUA. Like either of. And then management, because I was that this year I was at KBUT 7. I thought it was the last 7 things happening. And then all of us out of nowhere they tell us, Safaricom 7 is back. People didn't show up for Safaricom 7. But Kawaberi was back. was packed. Was packed. So that's the thing we need to fix. And then also we need to consider like improving that 15s game. We've been losing to Uganda in very cheap. So we need to.
That is Cranes.
Cranes, yeah. Like,
what do they call their rugby team? I know the football is Cranes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Anyway,
I think
they call so many of their products Cranes.
I think it's Cranes. Where we so it was. No, this was Victoria Cup. We lost. We lost by a single point to them in Victoria Cup. But then in the Elgon Cup, it was happening in Nairobi. Things happened. So we need to. The 15th game can improve too. So there's opportunities for. And the talent is there.
Oh, very nice, very nice. So you get to Form 4.
Yeah.
What was those experiences in class that you remember vividly?
Okay. So I think at Form 4 that's when I figured out like I'm going into tech full time. So we used to have like late prep. So our preps like used to end at 11. But then from 9 p.m. you could leave. People who are doing computer science, like computer studies programs, you could leave class and go to the comp lab, and like that's what I used to do. And then Friday nights we used to pool all night, all night in the comp lab. So they got to a time like our projects were done, like fully entirely done. And just having fun playing around with computer labs. You remember that Form 4 you usually like make a scrapbook where people leave their numbers. I made one with like the same way we're using like Microsoft Access,
Visual,
and then Visual Basic, Visual Basic for application, like it's coding on top of like the old Access, and that's why like I learned like how to do it. Like even though I don't like relational databases in actual real life, I learned like basic for relational databases there. I built my first project. By the time you're done, like I built like one of those like scrapbook, and I was telling guys, over prep, when's this game time? Kujeni comp lab man. Details like it was a fancy way to like collect. And that I knew like that's when I knew I am going. I'm going to spend the rest of my life with computers.
So how did you perform in KCSE?
So it was funny enough. So like I knew I was going to do like we all knew like a lot of us were going to do well.
Yeah.
But then I think like for that like class 3 courses like for 3.5 years I was like leaving for games time. Like you're doing classwork but then 5 games time. But then in Form 4 after the season ends, like there's nothing else you're training for. So I was only leaving for the computer lab. I did well. I got an A. I was expecting an A- in the list because I was the middle of the pack. So like we had you were 300 of you in a class, like Form 4, like not in a single class, like your entire like all the streams combined, like 5 streams, like 300 plus of you. They used to award like the top 80 like every year, like the top 80, and I was usually like at the tail end of the top 80 guys. So I was in the middle of the pack. I was expecting like an A-. I got in A. But again, like
it was not about the books. It's just about what you can do with it.
Yeah, what you can do later. And then the thing, my biggest takeaway was what's this called? Was I was going to do things with computers, and what else? Plus academic knowledge can you put on the table. But again, I think I'm also jaded against the entire education system, because you usually think like, yes, you got a 420, you got an A, like the world should be opening up to you.
But it doesn't.
It doesn't. Like so you have to like still hustle on your own. You also have to get opportunities on your own, and that's what I learned. Like even for anyone out there who didn't do as well as I did. It doesn't matter as much as you think. Once you've achieved that, like that's the thing. It's on to the next achievement. There's on to the next achievement. And for me, that's when I think before I even knew it, I think I was sort of done with school. I knew I was working with computers the rest of my life. So right after Form 4, even before results came in, I was going to work with computers, and at that time the first frontier was Android app. So I did well. I wasn't caught in the fanfare of, you got A's, funny enough, I never got onto one of those plaques because of rugby, because like the highest we got a silver medal for 15s when I was in Form 3, but never won any national title after that. So I wasn't in one of those plaques for rugby, but I got in one of those plaques because of like academic performance. Like I got like 91. Like people in like 100 people in my class got A's, like a third of my Asian in my class got A's. Another thing
that is including A minors.
No, it's just like plain A's, like hundreds of us, like a third of us got A's. And then what else? There used to be a friction between my parents because they see I'm in the middle of my park and they thought I wasn't performing as well. I was like, no, like our tests aren't standardized. The grading isn't standardized. The grading is normalized. Like I'm doing, and my dad will show up like for those like academic leagues and they tell them, oh, your child is doing. Well. Your child is doing me. No, I'm doing fine. They used to like book for me holidays. Those like holiday tuitions. You go to holiday tuitions and you notice like you are ahead of everyone and you're like, why are you making me?
I need to rest and maybe have some good time. But then now that you've mentioned about holiday tuition, do you advocate for those?
No, like just do you let the school give the child an assignment and then let's do it. Funny enough, when I was in school, we used to have like 3 sets of exams, like opening exams, opening exam, middle exam, and then I used to perform better in the opening one than the rest of the school. Because when I was in school, I'm only studying in the classroom and in prep. Instead of the time, I'm doing other things outside of classroom. But then when I'm home, see, I have to like finish up my curriculum and then I try and read ahead. So I used to spend holidays like reading ahead a bit. So past holidays. Like first exam, like opening exam, I used to like do really well. Everyone else was there rusted. And then when I'm in school, like it normalizes for us. Even think like people ops, like my index was like 91, and like because I was like they did that exam at the beginning of Form 1 entering, and then they used to like do weekly tests and reshuffle you according to that. So with the reshuffling, I think I was in the second last stream. But I was like this, all of this stuff don't matter. Like the one that matters is the final exam. So I'll keep doing rugby, I'll keep doing other things. So when it came to the exam, people were like, "How Amukasa, why are you in? How are you in?" Like that was the like second class. Like and I was constantly I was in the bottom like 2000 because like I knew. In the long run, is it? Yeah, the final exam actually, the rest was just filler. I think, but my thoughts on education was probably because I didn't have to work as hard as most people. But then it's just step one. Like the other things you need to achieve, it's how you apply the knowledge and how you get to industry that actually determines what you do in life. Like I've never been known as like I got an E, I got a 14. No one has ever asked for that professionally as I'm working in industry. It's always what can you do, what problems can you solve, and if you figure out the education, if you want your child to be like academically excellent, let them know like their path is to get into academia and to contribute new knowledge. It's not it's not an edge for better paying. Yeah, a better paying job. Yeah, it's not like an edge for a better paying job, because like in this like work environment we're in, it's not consistent. It's not consistent. You have like brilliant people like burning up the papers. They're like, I can't get a job. Like the industry doesn't care about your aid. It cares about what problems you can solve. So that's an knowledge I'll give you. But if you can do good, do well. I don't mean check out from school. I'm telling you, like, do your best there, but then no, your path is limited. Are you going to be an industry an academic full-time contributing new knowledge, or are you trying to be a professional to actually solve problems in the industry? Yes.
So I have to ask you this, because even me, it fascinated me. I was okay. I'll tell my story one day, and I keep telling my guests that every guest I host, they always offer to be the host. And by the way, to be honest, I've not gotten the right hosts to ask me the right questions. But I'm not saying you can't. It's just that you need to get in that flow. One thing that fascinated me in high school is the guy who used to be number one. And I inquired about him for my school. And one of the things that was fascinating about him is that first, that is Form 1 and Form 2. He used to be number last.
And then he stepped up.
Then second term, Form 2. Oh my goodness. The guy gets to number 2. Term 3 gets to number 1. And the rest is history. No, this guy used to get perfect scores.
Yeah.
And another thing that I noticed about him, he wasn't that guy who is a bookwormer. It was, the troubles that you can think about. He was actually in those things that you cannot imagine.
The high school.
So I don't know about your guys now that you are index 91. What was it like to be index 1?
So there are two things. The people who are like I told you, like I think probably brilliant people do not face me because I've been in sort of environments where everyone is brilliant. So I've noticed two things. Yeah, they are brilliant, yes. And then they worked at the exam. It was not about mastering the content. It's again because it changes from multiple answers to written open-ended answers. Yeah. They used to like answer questions the way the examiner expected them to answer. So the best friend of mine is called Rafael Riguanzo. I think he's at Google Rafael. So I looked at one of his physics papers. His grade was out of 70. He got like a 60 some there. So I was like, I know the content. Like all my answers. Like for me, I was going long winding stories where. But then he was like exact point to deliver the nini. So he was answering the questions. They learned how examiners went to the get and learned how they expected questions and answers. Because I think the only thing I did.
Were you taught how to answer these questions? How examiners expect?
For me, no. I think at Form 4 when you were revising, that's when you got like when it's like sunk. But then before that, like you go through how they answer questions and like they were prepared for the exam, like answering how the examiner expected the question to be. Like.
So are you saying back at home they used to have these guys who prepare them or?
No. Like it's going through like it's preparing for the exam. Rather than just reading the content, it's going people in all other classes asking for their papers. So they figured out how the examiners expected the questions to be answered. Like there's a beef I have with like English like English literature. No, it's like I've read the material. I know what I know like the answer. I know the content. I know the themes. But then if you do not provide 3 themes that as expected in whatever teacher's guide they've offered, they won't give you the marks. But I'm like, it's literature. It's like how you understand and you express. Because I'm like explaining theme X, Y, Z in my way of explaining explanation, and it makes perfect sense. Then with typos, but you're not getting the marks because the teacher expected this list from this teacher's guide, this list of themes and these explanations to them. So that's a thing. And it's one whole thing was broken with 804. And inside our school, like so again, our grades weren't like normalized and whatnot. So it was that split difference of marks. And it was like now, like it's and I was
doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like those. I have this Italian startup thing where. Anything more than what you need to get initial feedback is wasted. So I was like, those guys, but then they spend the entire existence or for the 4 years providing answers the way examiners expected them. But then again, like when that sample size is increased to the whole of Kenya, I am in the top percentile because there's that differences. So it's a thing I figured out. Like I figured out how to go through school with the least effort on academics and then the most effort on other extracurricular stuff because I knew like there's a life outside the classroom.
Yeah. So you got your A. Did you get which university did you get invited to?
JKUAT. But then I chose actual science